What's up, all? How are you? Yep. Missed a couple of spots back here. You should help. I used to, I'll tell you what, there wasn't, and Scott can attest to
Did
this.
replace the batteries in that, and the batteries
There
in
was
that one, that one
administrators
has
in
3 bars.
districts, okay, that didn't get Evanston football stuff when I was coaching. Everybody had a nice shirt and a nice hat every year. Or a nice polo, or a nice pullover. All kinds of things. But that was just, we actually have,
Karen, are we on?
yeah,
Here?
Kara just got in.
Yeah. We are live.
She, okay, she bought a t-shirt press. And we're doing like our EMS, our Epic Success and Grant Awards this week.
Just those.
Okay.
You will remain as much as I'll be there excited. Right down
Not replacing this, wasn't even doing that year, but everything should be
Also, to get,
should be good.
Nicole found Arby. That was, I guess, the reason I use science teachers. No, this is, she didn't write one. She just wanted to put some really. She came in. I'm not okay. I'm going to call you first. See, I'm telling you. That is really cool.
They're really cool.
It's that plexiglass. The,
It's all my principal in Springfield.
I'm gonna get, remember those bucket caps that I got?
also, she said,
That's understood. Bees are there. I used to, I got about 16, and kids would sell like an extra $5 carton, you know. Spent $50 a month. Well, you know, baseball, that's not extra, it's certified extra. It's not extra, it's worth a lot. Sell an extra, one of them is. They like it.
And not all at once, not twice. Well, that's good.
You got it.
Well, I'm gonna keep the books, but the rest of
Testing 1 2 1 2 testing.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just want to make sure that we have this. I just want to make sure that we have it.
I like the original chair for him. Somebody's, I need to miscount it. He's got that chair. There's no chair for that in the video.
Oh, that's hilarious.
How are you? That's an unusual chair for you.
How are you? Yes, ma'am.
Glad to see you.
I may have an answer.
Hey, you got a little swag.
How are you? Good. What's that? Oh, yeah.
Stephanie, EMS.
Where's Pat?
The student
Pat's sucking
representative?
up.
Okay, nice. So are you a senior?
You're not getting a raise out of it. You're not gonna get a raise out of that. Huh? Well, I know you're presenting, but this was a lot nicer than what Davis gave us.
Yeah, I already replaced it. You gonna be here?
There's not a unless they have a state applies for or it on your
I think it's the same place, right? I think I just took.
I was there,
You were
Kristen was
there?
here, for some reason they swapped it.
How are you, Caleb?
I'm good, how are you, Jenny? It's good, it is. If you run across on 17, I'd be...
Stephen yet?
So your daughter's studying in Germany, right?
pulled off, print check.
Yeah, her sophomore year.
Other than that, no.
Which part?
She is right on
They've been hitting up there for.
she's down in Wheaton South.
Okay.
It's 30 miles to Czechoslovakia to the east. And what's that famous place down there, the big giant forest?
Black
Black Forest?
It's near Munich, Germany.
It's a state.
Oh,
She's in Thuringen, but she's only 5 miles from the next state down, which is a famous German state.
how are you?
Good. I don't want two bottles of water.
I went to visit Stuttgart.
What?
Yeah. No, he was at the base, but my dad was
Did you get this one out of the fridge?
bureaucrat.
That was just nice and cold.
Now I don't know which one I grabbed out of the
Yeah,
fridge in there.
you know all the
Well, we were right near.
That's scary.
We were right near.
They're both cold.
right.
Alrighty, it is 6 o'clock. We need to call to order the Union County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees Board Meeting. I need a motion to go into the meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you get that? Chairman
Alrighty,
Peterson,
thank you,
who made
everybody.
those motions? We didn't get them.
What?
Motion and second.
Oh, me and Dave.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I guess we need to move into our board elections. It's that time of year. So,
Mr. Chairman, can I do this or not?
it looks like he's got some,
I'm just going to say, the way we typically do this is you can make motions to nominate chairman, and then we have a closed ballot, whatever you want to call it, to decide who you'd like to do that. So right now, I guess you can make nominations.
I
Chairman.
nominate Dave Welling, or Dave Peterson. Dave Peterson is board chair.
Well, that goes good. I second that.
Oh, does it?
I guess you don't need a second, excuse me.
Okay. Well, if it gets close, we'll have to do it right. Sorry, we got David.
And then a second from Dave.
no,
Okay.
you don't,
You don't really need a second.
So now we just see if there's any other nominations?
yes.
Who else wants to do it?
Sounds like you're it.
I move the nomination cease.
Second.
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 We got a first and second, nomination is ceased. I guess I will do my time again.
You gotta vote.
Need to vote.
Do you have to vote on that one?
Yes, you do.
David.
Still have to vote.
You still have to vote? Okay. All right. So, I need a motion to approve David Peterson, as the board chairman for the Union County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. We need to have nominations for the vice chair at this time.
Who was it? Before?
It was me.
It was you?
No.
Oh, it was Jenny, okay. I move that we don't change it.
Second.
All right.
Well, I would, if I may, I would,
Go ahead.
Jenny's up for re-election in 2 years, and I would recommend that we nominate somebody that's going to be in the position for the next 4 years, along with yourself.
We do it every year.
We do it every
We do
year.
it every year.
year.
So
Yeah.
you go
do
through
it
this
every year.
process, so. It's an annual event, so, yeah,
I reassert my nomination.
okay. Anybody else?
Move the nomination cease.
All right, I have a motion to cease the nomination. I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Nominations have ceased. I need a motion to approve Jenny Barker, there I go. Wow.
It's whatever was
Maybe
on
we
your
should
tongue
be
last, I don't know.
That was payback, so.
What the hell is going on?
I need a nomination to approve Jenny Welling as the vice chair of the Union County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need to open up for nominations for the treasurer.
Is that Caleb?
Yep.
I nominate Caleb Guild as the treasurer.
Second.
Okay.
Move the nomination cease.
I have a motion for the nomination to cease.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nominations have ceased. I need a motion to approve Caleb Guild as the treasurer for the Union County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Are we just gonna go right down the line?
Yep. It's Dan, right?
Yep.
I nominate Dan Wheeler as the clerk.
Okay. Any other nominees?
I move the nomination cease.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second to cease the nominations. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
Are we sure?
Huh?
You kind of a seedy bugger, are we sure?
How is our finances doing? Yeah, that's who we should be talking about this. All right, I need a motion to approve Dan Wheeler as the Union County School District Number 1 Board of Trustees clerk of Union County School District, or Board of Trustees.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. We are
You didn't even give me a chance.
to oppose it.
Were you?
You're outvoted.
Yeah, it didn't matter anyway, you were gonna lose, so. Okay. That fills our positions. The other thing I do not see on here, oh, okay, yeah, we'll move down into that one after this. Are we going to talk today about the other boards?
Yeah, it's board committee assignments right now those are all filled. The discussion would be if someone that is in one of those positions would like to not do it any longer, I guess.
Yeah.
So you have the BOCES board, the CBARV board, and the REC board.
So with the people going out, we didn't lose any seats on the boards? Oh, wow.
Can we review who's on which board?
Yes, we can, so. Let's go through the BOCES board, who's representing the BOCES board right now with the Union County School District Number 1 board.
Me,
Dan Wheeler.
Brian, and Dave.
Brian and Dave. So those are the three current ones on there. It is a seven or five-member board?
Five.
Five-member
I
board.
changed that.
Okay. And
With
then-
two, the other two people are from Western Wyoming. So there's 3 UNT County School District board members and 2 from Western Wyoming.
The community college, you right?
Community college.
Yeah, they're out of the community college. So,
And then
CBRE is Mr. Wheeler.
Yeah, you know.
so are you volunteering for anything?
I'm happy to volunteer
Okay.
if somebody wants off, but
Okay.
I just want to know who was on what.
Okay.
Yeah.
The CBRV. So CBRV, we have not, is that just locally that we have on the board for that? Because we have not passed the mill for CBRV.
Yeah, we're still on the board. We're part of that cooperative still. We're just a non-paying member of that cooperative, so that puts Mr. Wheeler on the board.
Okay.
Yeah. CBRV is a Zoom call the 4th Wednesday of every month. And they last, it's at 8 o'clock at night. They last about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. So there was some discussion about meeting every other month or quarterly. But the decision was, since you meet on Zoom, if you only meet quarterly or every other month, you lose some continuity, so agreed that would stay be every month. So if someone was interested in serving, I would certainly, I would move on, but it's been a good experience, and I knew nothing when I started, and it's been good.
I did receive an email from the director of CBRV, and he expressed great confidence in Dan and would love to keep him.
Okay. I'll stay, yeah. I enjoy doing it, so, yeah.
All righty.
And recreation?
Yeah, so we'll go down the rec board right now, so. Brian Woodward
Yeah, Brian and I,
and Dan.
yeah, we're on the rec board.
So Dan, you're on 3. Are you interested in removing yourself from any of the boards, or are you comfortable with still doing it?
I'm comfortable still doing it. Now, I guess if I was going to give one up, it'd be CBRV. I like BOCES and the
Rec board.
kind of some strides that we've made, some things that we've done. And the rec board is going to get even funkier, so I would like to stay with that.
That's what I was going to ask. So
We have-
as far as sitting on our board right now, we only have Dan Wheeler that represents us? No, Brian.
Brian and Dan.
So we have 2 out of the 7.
Yes.
Well,
We actually have 4
No,
positions.
I know. I'm saying on our current board,
Yes.
yeah,
we only have 2.
yeah.
Yes,
The other ones that represent UNT County School District Number 1 are not sitting on this board.
they're not.
We have Brian, no, Josh Welling, and who else?
Cody Bateman.
Cody Bateman.
Cody Bateman.
Josh and Cody. They are our selected representatives.
I know they
So-
are, that's what I'm saying.
I was just going to add, when they choose to leave that board, this board will have an opportunity to select,
We need
A
to make sure
replacement.
that they know that.
They do.
they're well
Okay.
aware of that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my question. Are we okay with them being on there? Because they are representing us. That was where I was going down the road. Do we want to keep them 2 on there, or do we want more representation from our sitting board members right now?
That's up to you guys.
I know, that's why I'm bringing it up, so.
What kind of decisions do they make?
Well, there's gonna be some big ones.
There might be some,
Yeah, there's some big ones coming.
to be made, they make
it.
you know, that obligate the district, you know, to some monies.
Really, the whole idea of the board, the rec board is put together because of the mill that flows through us to them. So the rec mill is the reason why there is a BOCES, there is a rec board, and how that money's spent is up to the board. So,
I recommend that it be at the board, all of it. What's allowed, 4 spots or whatever. That's what I recommend.
So how much is that money again?
Close to 300,000.
Oh, 300,000, not 300,000.
And they're presently getting, weren't they all getting all of it?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thinking about changing that. Correct?
Well, and I think,
Potentially.
doesn't Josh sit as the board chair right now?
Does he?
He's the board chair.
So, and I guess that was my question, because I have not sat in any of those meetings at all. As far as Welling, I imagine, because he served on this board before, that he has the best interest of the school district in mind. Mr. Bateman, I have not been up there. I don't know if he sides more on the rec side or if he sides more on our school side when there's decisions to be made. And that's the only thing, is I'm wanting to make sure that where we have agreed to just having 4 on there instead of 5, that we have the best representation to.
I haven't seen any leaning either way.
No,
Yeah, I was
from
gonna
either of
say,
them.
Okay,
when I
from
was
either
on
one
there.
of
To
them.
me, they're perfectly neutral.
So we don't make any request to the board. I mean, how we feel about something and not ask any of those questions. Or, just neutral. About limiting their funding down the road.
In other words, what I'm seeing is I'm not seeing them leaning toward the city or leaning toward the school district. They're going right down the middle and doing what is best for the,
Chairman Peterson, members of the board, if I may, this board has never asked any specific direction of those rec board members. So, and they've always kind of been, I would say, at will. It's their choice, their direction. In the future, if there is some direction to be given, it can be given. There is no term limits on those board positions. I think they serve at their own will. I guess it's kind of up to this board when they choose to resign from the board position. There are positions, but they've served well. And like I said, that's kind of typical. We typically had 2 or 3 board members, and the rest were filled with representatives that we selected. Josh was an easy one because he was selected when he was a member of the board, chose not to run again, and this board gave him an option to stay on. He chose to stay on.
And I guess the only reason I brought that up is I think 100% of the representation over in Green River is the board itself.
Yeah,
So
it is.
their representation for the rec board is
Yes.
school board.
Is the school board.
Who are the other members?
I'm not even sure. Dan, do you know the other members on it?
well, and that's the thing is that
That's a good
we'll know on Thursday night if we filled one of the,
City position,
of
appointments.
one of those appointments, because we were down. In fact, the last 2 meetings, we haven't had a
Quorum?
quorum. Yeah.
Really?
So,
Boy.
Tim Lynch, who represents the city, Cody Bateman, Josh Welling, Brian and I,
Tim Lynch.
yeah,
Who wasn't the one that worked for the Forest Service?
yeah, guy for the Forest Service, Sam, well, I don't know, I can't remember his name. And there's another guy that just got appointed that works at, the oil service companies. I apologize, I'm a little, because they're new, and I just don't remember what their names are.
Right, because that's part of our new agreement that we entered into with them, that they would have 5 representatives from the city and 4 from
Yeah.
the school.
But a pretty, not a board of anything that, an agendas that any of them have, at least that I've been able to detect. And let's conduct business and let's try and do the best thing that we can. The rec center's in some real issues as far as needing a new roof, needing some construction projects to just save their building from the side of the mountain to come down, and where that money's gonna come from. So there's some tough decisions to be made, and how those are gonna be financed and taken care of, so. And I think there's, and answer my question if we can, but if we schedule elementary soccer at the domes, do we do that through the rec center? Is that scheduling done through the rec center? Okay. Which is my understanding, which has been a little not up to par. Because tonight, I think we have grade school soccer for the first time in 3 months, just because of scheduling issues. And that may not, I may not have all the.
So anything that's a community event that deals with recreation is scheduled through the rec center.
Rec center.
And it's determined by availability. So our programs get first pick, and our soccer kids are playing up there till a certain time.
Okay.
So if it's available, they can participate. The rec center has a fee that those individuals pay. So that's how they schedule for junior jazz, traveling teams.
Right.
Our facilities are all scheduled through the rec center.
Okay.
So we'll go back to the topic, which is, are we okay with the way the current board, rec board, is structured and set up and the individuals that are on there? And if we're okay, then we will just move forward that direction unless the voice of the board wants to make some changes. I'm just posing that question.
If the bulk of the board is opposed to that, is that something we deal with tonight? By passing a resolution to change the seating arrangement?
Well, our agreement says 5 and 4, so we can't have any more than 4.
No,
It's
but I
just a
mean,
matter, yeah.
By saying, hey, look, okay, sorry, you two other guys, we're gonna have to pull you out of there and we're gonna put 2 other ones in.
But you two have stated that you think that the current school board representatives are doing good.
I haven't perceived any issues whatsoever that I felt like were detrimental.
Yeah, and I would, and I think Brian's the same way. I'd be the first to come to this board and say, hey, this isn't, yeah,
This isn't working.
something's gone awry here, and we need to make a change. I wouldn't have any hesitation to do that.
No, and that was just because we're not privy to what goes on in the board meetings, right? You guys are our representation right now.
Yeah.
And so if you're comfortable with it, then that's fine. But I just was putting that out to the rest of the board if they were okay with it. And if they're okay with it, then we will keep it the way it is, and then we'll move on.
We just went through probably the most sensitive thing that we've dealt with up there, which was the fee schedule and so forth for the domes, and I felt like that got handled as smoothly as you can possibly expect.
Yeah.
All right. And a discussion, I guess we'll keep the board the way it is then.
Yeah,
so.
and I don't have a problem with coming, the board meeting's Thursday night, so it's a whole month, but I don't have a problem coming back and reviewing what went on and what some of the issues are, and,
Yeah, I guess if this board wants an update as to what happens to the other board.
I don't have a problem doing that at all. Yeah, yeah.
I do think it's important to realize that this new agreement that we just entered into, we won't know the impact to us until after the school year's over. The way we agreed with the rec center, working out with our business department, is we're keeping track, and we will bill them at the end of the school year for the use of our facilities according to our fee schedule.
Yeah.
So we'll know what the impact is then. And we've been as open as ever with community rec programs that want to use our facilities. If they're available, we encourage them to be used.
Yeah.
And seems to still be a healthy use of our facilities. They've added pickleball on Tuesday nights, which I think is outstanding. I'm glad we could work that out in the domes. As I mentioned, we've got basketball standards now, so I think that will increase the use of those domes even more.
Yeah, yeah. Is the pickleball co-ed or men, women?
I think right now it's a women's league.
Women's league.
Women's group. I don't know what to call it a league, but yeah, it's...
All right. Okay, all right, we'll end our discussion there as far as the boards are concerned. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as identified in our board documents.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The agenda has been approved. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Item A, the minutes from 11/12/2024, and B, payment of bills.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussions?
Mr. Chairman, I recuse myself from checks number 126826 and 126864.
Okay. Did we get that? Okay.
I have questions.
Okay, discussion.
There's several. $19,000 for the Wyoming Department of Workforce Services. What was that for?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. John, are you aware what Workforce Services $19,000 check was for?
Is that for recruiting?
Oh, no.
Trust, Mr. Du Bois, what I would encourage is if you have those questions, call right to the business office, and he can actually look at the ledger, because there's hundreds of checks.
I can do that, but I think it's in the public's interest as well to know
Yeah.
what these.
Well, you
what
could
these
definitely bring it up in
expenditures are for.
public after that, but,
I mean, there's a lot of here on the list that I've got questions about.
yeah. Give him a call, and if there's any that you want to
Okay,
question
I'll
in
do
public,
that.
that's
I'll do that.
very fair.
Any more discussions? Are you satisfied, Mr. Du Bois, with that?
I'm satisfied
Okay.
with the.
Process.
The process,
Yes.
okay, okay, that's what I meant, so, okay. Any more discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Consent agenda has been approved. Okay, recognitions.
I'd like to recognize 2 new board members. That's the only recognitions we have tonight. So, Mr. Du Bois and Mrs. Arch, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, great.
Thank you.
Did we introduce our student representative at our last meeting?
We have.
We have.
We had a new one last.
Yeah, we had
We had a substitute.
Yeah, a substitute.
Okay, we will move on to item number 7, school reports. Clark Elementary, come on down. I'm not gonna break my record.
What's the record?
42 minutes.
No, you're not.
No. Too much discussion.
I thought you did
My presentation is shorter than Pat's. Just for the record.
We cannot hear you. Can we get our mic on? Oh,
Just have to turn it on then.
Is it on? Do I have to? Really?
It's not way on.
That close?
It's not way on. People at home can hear her great.
Well, it is an honor and a pleasure to represent my Clark Elementary School that I love as the principal tonight. So I am just going to share with you some evidence of our mission and in relation to our school-wide goals. And just for the record, I think my presentation is shorter than Mr. Fackrow's, so you're welcome.
That's good.
So our mission at Clark is that we ensure high levels of learning for all students all the time. And I think in your board packet, you received our school-wide goals. So just quickly, they're framed from the expectations of Superintendent Thomas and include accountability and achievement. We have what are called striving goals because our mission is that we ensure high levels of learning for all students. We have a striving goal that is to reach 100% of our students being proficient in reading, writing, and math on the YTOP. We've not reached it yet, but that's why it's called a striving goal. Our this year goal is to increase proficiency by 10% from the previous school year. And then with K2, we have our proficiency is based on our M-class assessment, which is the reading assessment based on DIBELS. And so, and we have actually reached that 100% mark in kindergarten a couple of times. Not last year, but a couple of years ago, back to back. So that was pretty exciting, and it was very encouraging to reach that goal. And we've seen the fruits of that labor as the kids have gotten older and gone through the grades. And then we also have an instruction goal, and it's really based around sharpening our PLC work and the work that we do as a collaborative teams within our school. We've committed to keeping our win time sacred and meeting regularly with our win team, and I can explain a little bit more about that. And then just getting smarter about the art and science of teaching, and also expand on that a little bit. We have an attendance goal to maintain regular attendance of at least 95% of students, and that has been tricky. COVID kind of threw a wrench in attendance, and we've been slowly trying to build that back up as far as the importance of being at school, and so that's a continual thing that we're working on. And then as far as behavior, we are continuing to implement conscious discipline school-wide, and we use the framework from PBIS, the Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports. And so we have a Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 kind of behavior support. So that's a quick overview of our school goals. And now I'd like to share with you some of the evidence of our mission, and like I said, our mission is that we ensure high levels of learning for all students. And so with that mission and evidence of the mission, it's related to one or a lot of our school goals. So the first thing is the state accountability. Clark is meeting expectations in all areas, meeting the target and achievement, growth, and then something I'm really proud of, my special education team and our commitment to win time and the work that we do with interventions and Tier 3 support is that we were exceeding our target in equity, meaning that our most fragile learners made adequate or even better growth. And so that was something that we were really excited about and wanted to celebrate. We are also, more evidence of our mission is that we are high reliability school certified levels 1 through 4. And so just kind of a brief review of those levels. Level 1 is safe, supportive, and collaborative culture. And we've worked really hard to build what we call a school family at Clark. And we rely heavily on the collaborative work that all of our teams do together to ensure that all students and staff are supported and feel like they belong and are part of our school family. Level 2 is effective teaching in every classroom, and so we use the focused teacher evaluation along with the art and science of teaching to develop our skills in the classroom. And one thing that I really love, and I think it's probably because I'm an instructional coach at heart, but we do what's called a lesson study, and it's an opportunity for us to dig deep into a few of the elements within our evaluation tool, but we do it in a meaningful way where we plan together a lesson, and then one teacher teaches it while the other teacher's observing, and then we meet together and debrief that lesson. and talk about what went well, what didn't, what did we learn, and then the second teacher has an opportunity to teach the same lesson with the tweaks that we've talked about. And it really is an opportunity to dig in and really go into the weeds of instruction and what does student learning look like and sound like, and how do we engage all students in the learning. And so that's something that is really enjoyable when we talk about effective teaching in every classroom. And then level 3 is our guaranteed and viable curriculum. And we use our priority standards to assess, to plan. It's our guide for what students are learning at high levels. That's the guaranteed and viable curriculum. And then level 4 is the standards reference reporting. I would argue it's probably the easiest one because it seems like we've been doing this for a long time. But the evidence of that is our report card and the conversations that we have with parents during parent-teacher conference. And just it's just what drives the work that we do every day with kids. It's the what do we want kids to know and be able to do question that we use to answer that. So more evidence of our mission is that we are a model PLC school, and so what that means are those are the 3 pillars of a professional learning community. The first one is we focus on learning, and our commitment to that is seen through our master schedule. We have win time, which is what I need time. It's built within the school day, so every student has access to it. They don't have a choice, because we recognize the effectiveness of interventions and extensions needs to happen within the school day. We can't rely on kids coming early or staying late. We also offer that, but that's more of like a bonus time. We know what we have control over is from 9 to 3:40, and we try to use every second of that time. And then we build a collaborative culture, and evidence of that is our UNS Science School. That was a collaborative effort with our whole staff. Also our commitment to protected team time each week. Teams meet twice a week, Monday mornings, before we have our whole staff professional development, and then they meet again at another time during the week. And we've gotten to the point where teachers actually say they wouldn't want to work any other way. And that tells me that they value the time that they have together to work as a team, and they're committed to our collaborative culture. And then the last pillar of being a model PLC school is that we are results oriented. So we have data meetings monthly with grade level teams. Our win groups are fluid, meaning that they're based on data. So we don't check a kid into a group and they stay there. We move based on the data that we're collecting, whether it's a common formative assessment or just like progress monitoring. But those groups are moved based on student need. And that's really important to ensure that they're learning at high levels and they're continuing to grow. And the last thing is that our staff is hungry for data. They want to know how the kids are doing, and they use the data to ensure that they're making decisions based on student needs. This is just a photo, but when our 5th graders came back from UNT Science School, we had the idea that we should probably greet them because we missed them so much. We had a lot of siblings that went, and it was so fun for our whole school. It was a Friday, and we like to wear red on Fridays, and our whole school was lined up on the curb, and the teachers and the students in the bus, the teachers were saying like, oh, that brought tears to my eyes to see our whole school family there welcoming us. It was just a really touching experience, and I think it kind of shows how much we value our school family and how every child and staff member is a part of the school family. And we missed our 5th graders, believe it or not, when they were gone. We were happy to have them back. And then the last thing I want to share with you is this is just a visual of, it's actually really, I would invite you to come and look at this at our school. I asked every staff member to give me a picture of them as an elementary student, and it is so funny to see those pictures. You can see the resemblance in a lot of them. And then we added our students' pictures, so the students are the little ones, and then the staff ones are the big ones. But while you're kind of looking at that, I wanted to share with you some quotes I got about, I asked some students and staff, what does it mean to be part of our Clark Mustang school family? And my first grader said, we treat our friends nicely and follow directions. We take deep breaths or go down to the calm down station when we get frustrated. Some third graders said, we can be kind to others and we can work hard. Another one said, being a Clark Mustang means being independent, helping each other, and being determined in learning of new things, even though it could be 12 times 15. Or 18 times 70. As a Mustang, I will conquer that someday. So that's from a third grader. To be a Clark Mustang, it makes me feel happy to be at this school and play with friends. I learn new hard things. We work hard and play, and we try our very best. Another one said, it's fun here, and I love all my teachers, and I love all my friends. Another one said, it means that I will never give up and I would always be kind to others and that I will always be optimistic. Some fourth graders said, we're a school family, we all get along and have friends. It means helping out and being part of the Clark Mustang family. Another one said, there's amazing things about being a Clark Mustang. I love being a Clark Mustang. And then another fourth grader said, we need everybody to work their best, be their best, and help everyone. And then some staff members also shared their thoughts about being part of our Clark school family. Being a part of our school family means that we are all there to help each other. Our staff is all so close with each other. We are always willing to help when needed. We always support each other through challenges that come along. We all want the best for our students, and we all believe that all our students should learn at high levels. I feel so safe and supported at Clark with my Clark family. I am so glad to be a part of the Clark Mustang crew. There's several, but I will, just because I want to be shorter than Pat, I'm going to close with this. Being a Clark Mustang means you are part of the best of the best of the best. You are part of something bigger than yourself. It means that you... Sorry, that snuck up on me. Sorry. It means that you are expected to bring your best every day because you know others are always doing the same. It means that your efforts are always centered on kids first. It means, in a way, family. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I meant it when I said that this is a true opportunity to share with you the work of our school. I barely gave you the iceberg version. There's so much happening every day in service of our students, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to share with you just a little bit. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, do you have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
So, I actually have a couple.
Okay, good.
Well, a statement and a question. That last one that you did, that last kind of emotional one that you gave us, was that a student or a teacher that wrote that?
That was a teacher.
Okay.
And then I promised I wouldn't say who it was because he doesn't want anybody to, he doesn't want me to ruin his reputation.
And then the statement is that I was very pleased in the statements that the students were making. I sensed an undercurrent of pride in those students in attacking difficult things. Mm-hmm. Like they were looking forward to difficult things and they were proud that they were going to address them or that they had addressed them. Mm-hmm. And that's an amazing thing for students of that age group to have that kind of, sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Or or a desire to succeed at that. So congratulations, I was impressed.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, every month we focus on a stance for learning, and there's 5 of them: resilience, optimism, flexibility, empathy, and I knew I'd forget one. Persistence. And so we talk about, like, what does that mean? What does it look like and sound like during our school family assemblies? And then the challenge is always like, I want you to practice this and encourage others.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing those. I had a question.
Yes.
For the lesson study partnerships.
Yes.
Are those by grade level? So you're pairing, 2 third grade teachers to swap teaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I'm doing one this week with second grade, and it's a really cool experience for, I always ask the teachers, like, what do you want to get out of this besides getting it over with? And Jimmy John's. And they always are saying, like, it's so cool to see what happens when we plan a lesson together, and like to see the craft behind that, and when the other teacher is teaching it, and then, oh, like, that's how you interpreted it, or I did not think about that when we were talking through this lesson. So it's a really cool opportunity to look at the art and science of teaching.
And I wasn't on the stand last month, but wanted to say how fabulous you went to Science Campus as an idea, and thank your collaborative team at the school for putting it together.
Yeah, I will. It was an amazing experience for all staff and students.
Good job.
Thanks.
Of course, I'm biased.
Yeah.
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 Thanks, Kimber.
I thought this was not, I didn't think it was goals, I thought it was why should you give all the money to EMS? I'm gonna stand. Thank you.
Must be a coach.
Yes, I get tired of sitting, you know that.
Yeah.
So, I'm very excited about coming up and talking about Evanston Middle School. Some of the things we're doing at Evanston Middle School, and I have a lot of people to thank through this. Today, we were actually going to have, I just want to show you part of what I get to do every day, because this is just fantastic. Oh, no way.
Technology.
I'll just do it this way. Is there noise on this? There is no noise?
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's going.
Okay. So what you're seeing is the 7th grade, just Gen Ed choir. So, my presentation is a little bit longer, probably, Ms. Fessler. And part of that was I got bumped last November, and I was all ready to go back then, and so I added to it. But what you saw was a 7th grade choir class. Ms. Despain is in her 2nd year, and she is practicing for her Christmas concert. They were going to come in and sing tonight, a song, but half of them are on the girls' basketball team, which is awesome. And so we wanted to share that with you a little bit. Shalom was peace. It is one of the songs that they're performing. I don't know if anybody got a chance to go watch the band concert last night with Mr. Blackwell. I'll give you a guess, how good was it? It was awesome. Mr. Blackwell is a rock star, by the way. The worst part of that was the person reading the 7th grade, who struggles reading. That was myself. But just fantastic, fantastic district, fantastic people in that building. The educators, the professionals in there are just, they're all in, and we got awesome kids. And it is wonderful to be there. As you know, last spring we certified level 3, which made us guaranteed and viable. Here is the teams, and what I was very, very proud of last year as we kind of finished that whole cycle of that, is every one of these teams, every one of our people in that building took part in becoming certified. So our attendance and crisis team took on the safe and supportive that collaboration, the PLC work. How does our building run? If we've got incidents, how do we, get out of the building? Where do we go? All those kind of things. That team took on that. Effective instruction is our effective instruction team. I'll kind of show you some of the work that they're doing later on today. And then our RTI team, which is response to intervention. They really work a lot with our enrichment, kind of within what are we doing for our Tier 3 kids, our Tier 2 kids, and then what are we doing to even completely help with our kids that are advanced? How do we continue to help them grow? So when we started school this year, we had, and these were teacher teams, they selected a group of students, I've got a picture here in a minute, that from the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, they all kind of brought us about 8 to 10 kids. Myself and Miss Dalzell sat down with every one of those kids and we said, where do we want to be at the end of the year? We want to include them into building our academic goals. What do we want to see? These are actually great big posters, and the great Miss Donna Bruce actually printed these up for us on big vinyl things. You'll see them in our halls, you'll see them in our pods. The 6th grade has got this one. When I sat down with each one of all these kids, and we said, what do we want our math goal to be? You can see they're pretty high, and it's okay. It's good. We talked about raising the bar. We actually had, as our teachers, they built theirs. They're actually in our teacher workroom, in our office, and our teachers can actually track that. We finished the 2nd quarter. We've taken those pictures, but I hadn't gotten that yet all the way down, so I didn't add those ones. But you can kind of see what some of our goals were. Like I said, they set those things quite high, and I appreciate them doing that. Our 7th grade goals, again, these are right down the hallway. What I was really appreciative of is they really set their core classes super high. It wasn't just the PE, the computer science, the facts. They really talked about math, ELA, science, and to be honest, here's our 7th grade class. This was just taken just the other day. You can get a lot of work out of kids when you offer pizza. And so we bring these kids in, and we actually we checked in with, where we were at the end of the 1st quarter. What did that look like? Were our goals, were we close to them, were we achieving them? What I really kind of tried to empower these kids, because these are future leaders right here, this group of kids. These are fantastic students. They work hard. They are our, EMS's effort makes success kids. They try super hard. But our message to them is, you have to be our model. When we in classrooms, after our teachers are done instructing, and if all of you decide to get on your computer and play games, guess what everybody else is going to do? They're going to play games. You've got to be our models. When our teachers say, hey, turn and talk to your neighbor, that conversation needs about what we're talking about, not what you're going to do this weekend. And so we really ask them to be examples of our schools. And then to also hold everybody accountable. It's tough to elbow your buddy and say, hey, we need to be doing this. But that's what we ask of those kids. We want just that accountability piece. So this was just Ms. Dozell, 2 weeks ago, week ago, we did this. We brought all the kids in, again, had pizza. One of the things that I was just overly impressed with and is super excited about, we have a little 6th grader who came up to me during lunch and he tugged on my coat. Mr. Fackrell, when are we going to do our pizza thing again? And what I really appreciated was the fact that he was holding me accountable. He was making sure that because I said we were going to do this. When are we going to do it? We want to sit down and talk. And so I've really, really appreciated that. So as we start talking about our academics, our effective instruction team came to us and said we would like to, when we do our celebrations, it's not all kids that have A's. We'd like to start this first one with B's and above. So we call that our Be Excellent celebration. We celebrate a lot. I'm all about having fun. I don't want kids to feel like they're sentenced to Evanston Middle School. I want them to come and enjoy and really have that opportunity to have fun but learn it as well. I feel like they're a lot more comfortable doing that. So every kid that had A's or B's, and they have a 3 on all the standards to go through it, we had 190 kids join us, which was amazing. We have a school, we're about 327, 330 students. So 190 students came with us up to the rec center. It was on November 4th. We had a volleyball tournament, we had basketball, swimming, Nerf archery. Now I got a picture of that. You'll giggle. We had movie at the school with popcorn. It was awesome. This was all done again by that effective instruction team. They actually planned that whole celebration. So you can kind of see some of the pictures. Now let me tell you, when I walked in the rec, if you haven't played Nerf darts before with the archery, they are real bows and they are real arrows. And I got a little nervous. And I sat and watched them explain the rules of the game, and I looked over at Ms. Hard and I said, this isn't going to end very good. This is going to be a tough phone call to a parent saying, we had to pull an arrow out of your son or daughter. But it turned out to be an absolute blast. And kids, they had to run up, get arrows, they go back, they had to hide, and they shot. And we did this for about an hour and a half one day. We had kids in there just dripping with sweat. So it was really, really fun. It was awesome.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you do with the other 130 students?
They stay in class and they get intervention through the classes that they need to. Where they're struggling, they go in, and if they're low in a standard, if they're low on a CFA, they get more support from those teachers where they're at. And those teachers actually pull them to their classes. Kind of the same thing with this one. We actually, on January 24th, which was a TGI Friday, this is because we're going to raise the bar. We told the kids, and we've kind of dangled that carrot out there for the A's and B's. Hey, we want all of you to be part of this. So on January 24th, the effective instruction team after the second quarter are taking those kids out to the bowling alley. We did it last year, a hoot. The bowling alley charges, I think, like $3 a kid. Those kids actually brought a little money so they could get a pizza, and they got a soda pop, and they turn the lights off. They do the cosmic bowling, all the arcade games are on, and it turned out to be a lot of fun. And we were always having, we had about 70 roughly last year. We're hoping that 70 jumps to about 100, 110 is what our goal is, and we'll have to see where that is. But one of the things that I'm very, very proud of right now is through our STAR data, through our CFAs, all those kind of things, we actually are now pulling kids not only at lunch in the hallways, our teachers, they're actually saying to, I'm going to use myself as an example, Mr. Fackrell, we noticed that on the STAR on the first quarter you were doing pretty well, but you kind of dropped. What's going on? Where are you struggling? What do we need to do? And sometimes it's effort, sometimes it's new material. And so we're having those conversations all the time. Our attendance team, we talk about, we want to decrease our chronic and our severe absences, and I really think we're making a big impact on that. This is, at the end of the first quarter, this is what we had. 8th grade, we had 28 kids that had 2 or less absences and 26 that didn't miss a day. That's fantastic. And you can kind of see that. And these are 2 or less, right? One of the things that that's been very, very helpful, we have an attendance team that goes into what's called single point every week, and they actually talk to our county attorney, DFS, all those folks about our chronically absent students and how that's affecting their grades. When we're able to get them in front of, kind of in that process, and we get them going through that, we've had a ton of success with students that don't have any absences. I can tell you right now, one of these 8th grade students that's 2 or less was a student that we struggled with last year with attendance. And in about April, I guess, we were able to kind of get them involved in the court system, and that student has missed 2 days since about last April. And we are seeing that student's grades and performance really increase. But it's, I mean, you go to school, you get smarter, right? And that's the whole goal. So we're very, very proud of this. What we did with this, our tennis team, they actually took a half day. This was our half day. If you only had 2 absences, you got an ice cream bar. If you had 0 absences, you got an ice cream bar and a $10 Wolverine wage, which you can come in, and we've got little things in the office. You can kind of see all this. This is just, well, the grade on the one on the top is 7th grade, down below is 8th. We had a ton of students that got all those kind of things. The other thing that we really preach on hard, and this is our PBIS team, is behaviors. That has been one of our things that we've really hit on. We had, on October 25th, we were able to do a celebration, and that was students that didn't have any major referral at all in the whole first quarter. If they got that, we have just kind of we have a dance party. We have you get on Dance, put it on YouTube, put it on the big TV. We had popcorn. We had a popcorn machine that broke on us because we were pumping out so much of it. But what I was really proud of is you can see the bottom number, 93% of our students from Evanston Middle School didn't have a major referral last quarter, in the first quarter. And that's fantastic. One of the very, very proud moment as we kind of finished up last year, about the 3rd quarter, I believe, our 8th grade class, which are now freshmen, I hope they're still doing good, we didn't have a referral, major or minor, out of 105 students at Evanston Middle School. And I really attribute a lot of this not only to the work that Ms. Dalzell does day in, day out in our school, but the support that those teachers are getting inside their classroom, the phone calls that are being made to get home, and just the expectations and the accountability at Evanston Middle School. Our kids know when it's time to goof around and when it's not. Here's just 5-year total. This was something Ms. Dalzell handed me the other day as she kind of helped build this slideshow a little bit. You can kind of see, and this is just major referrals in the last 5 years of kind of what we're really trying to create. I mean...
Why the drop-off in 204 to 88? What do you attribute that to? It's pretty huge.
Yeah. Honestly, I think support in the classrooms, I think the expectations, I think lots of it's communication with parents, making those phone calls home. And then I think us being consistent all the way through.
There was a principal change in '23.
Yes, the change is standard.
Yeah.
What's that?
The change is standard.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Fackrell went to that school in 23, 24 as being students, and is now principal of that school.
Well, thank you. I honestly, and this is, again, a feather in Ms. Dalzell's cap, I think going in and supporting those teachers, giving classroom management ideas, being there to help make phone calls. And again, I think it's that even consistency across the board. We are going to be consistent from day 1 to day 180. We're the same people.
And when you became the principal, did you have much of a staff change?
No, not really.
So
not at all.
Pretty much?
Yeah, I think that my first year there was maybe 2 or 3 at most. Miss Despain was 1, our choir. I can't think of really anybody else. We had a few this year, and they're doing fantastic. They're excited, doing great. I really enjoy our conversations of them coming in even after we do an observation or whatever it is, and it is about classroom management, and especially that first year. You can kind of see some of the things that create that major referral through all these. When you see physical aggression, mostly what we see is a lot of times it's defiance and insubordination. It's not wanting to do a lot of schoolwork. It's, being warned enough times running down the hallway. All those kind of different things. Hands-on, goofing around, and somebody gets thrown into the wall and somebody else gets knocked down. Those kind of things. So I really feel, I'm really excited about the place we're in right now. We've got, and again, I'm just going to go back to say, we got great people. We got great professionals in that building, and we got absolutely awesome kids. So as we did our, I went too far. As we did our YouTube our dance. Here's the 6th grade. And I tell those kids, the only reason we do this, this is the whole 6th grade class, by the way. Here we go! Pretty cool. You know, again, kids are having fun. That is the whole 6th grade class. I make them all do it, and I tell them it's just for my humor. It's so I can giggle, and I'm trying to give some of them a chance to learn some dance moves, so they're not wallflowers at the school dance, right? We're kind of trying to teach a little bit that way, too. Got lots of things we do that way. EMS kindness, this is something that Miss Williams, and a lot of social, emotional, a lot of that kind of work that she does. This was a chart that she put up about a month ago. It's a great big chart, bingo chart. It might be slapping somebody you don't know high five. As soon as you went and did that, you went and put your initials on it. These are the top getters from every class that she actually pulled off, I think, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. She pulled those kids down. They actually had a pizza party, you know, for being kind. And like I said, it's slapping somebody high five. It's holding the door for somebody. It's hauling somebody's trash, somebody's tray to the trash. It's just being kind. It's just being nice. And being a good person. And again, as much as we can teach in the classroom, we can teach kids to be good and be kind to each other. Shout outs, this is something our staff does. These are, you know, a kid that, we want to recognize those kids that are doing great things as well. You know, or the kids that maybe have had a little trouble here and there, but they've made some growth, made some improvement. We actually have our teachers, they actually take time, they fill out something. I was going to have somebody write Mrs. Fackrell one, Miss Colleen Fackrell, and put my name on it and send it to her so I could take a picture. But just something that student has done that's really awesome in school. Kind of a gotcha thing, right? And we reward those kids. I'll tell you, when you send out something like this, you want to talk about building an ally. Is we get some of these things sent out in the mail. Super important to me is the culture and the mental health, the happiness of our staff. Right now, we're in our Christmas graze. It seems like everybody's bringing snacks in here. This is just Thanksgiving. We had all kinds of things. We have monthly birthdays that different groups bring in. And I said, if you'd have said to me 20 years ago that you're going to be in the middle school and as an administrator, I said, go fly a kite. But I'll tell you what, I'm in the right place. I love what I do. And the people that are around, that I get to be around, are just heaven. I love going to work every day. I love getting to be with the people I'm with. And this is just part of it, is they take care of each other and they pick each other up. They work hard for all the kids. Just fantastic. Got a few thank yous. First of all, I think to all the, I guess the yahoos or the knuckleheads in the back. I know that as much as I stole from all those folks last year and the help that they've given me, to really kind of feel like where I'm at right now and the growth that they've helped, the support they've given me has been great. To Mr. Rigby, I'll tell you what, if I've got a question any time of the day, I can call him, and I truly appreciate all the support that he's given me, and Mr. Thomas, and your support. I thank you very much for everything you've done, and I love what we do. I love where we're at Evanston Middle School. Like I said, I wish our kids could have come in and sang for you tonight, but they're playing basketball too, so that's okay.
Yep.
So, thank you. Have any questions for me?
Just keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And just on your last slide,
Yes.
just had to comment on it. Staff wellness.
Yes.
And then there's trays of donuts and
Okay. Here's the funny thing.
I'm just looking at that.
I know. We had all kinds. We had like pumpkin chili. We had all kinds of stuff. One of I say this all the time, probably the best career move I've ever made, but the worst career move I've ever made, because all we do is eat. And we have got a lot of people that can flat cook. And it's just awesome. The building just takes care of each other. They're so awesome.
That's my impression. It looks to me like you've created an environment where the staff and the students are excelling and working together and in an environment they kind of looks to me like they're happy to be there.
And we're having fun.
Yeah.
And we gotta love what we do. And I really feel like, you know, between Ms. Dalzell and myself, that's, our job is to go support those teachers in every way possible. And, you know, to make it their job as easy as possible so they can do the craft that they're an expert in. But Mr. Rigby's also given us that freedom to really do that, and so I really appreciate everything that he's given us, and I know our staff is very appreciative of where we're at too. So,
I echo what they said down there. Keep up the good work.
well, thank you.
Pat, I'd like to say one thing.
Yes.
Known you for a long time. I think you actually got a pretty good experience at the high school.
I did.
We had our talks. I knew what you were going to be, and I want to commend you for being at Evanston Middle School. And you were asked about the change in referrals. It changed when you showed up.
Well, I appreciate that.
You made a difference because you do not sit in your office. You're out and about kids and staff, and I appreciate that.
Well, we got awesome kids that have wonderful stories, and those stories need to be heard and told, and they need that support.
Of course, I got a bias too. I got grandkids
You do.
in your school too.
That's right. And we got a choir concert coming up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Got it. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Fackrell.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on to our discussion items. Discussion A, Wyoming School Board Association Annual Conference Report.
Chairman Peterson, members of the board, I thought it would be good. We had 2 board members that attended Wyoming School Boards, and I attended with them too. It was very well attended by, I think, all boards in the state, probably the biggest one I've ever seen. They did have some good, very appropriate keynote speakers. One was a magician. Kind of his message is the magic of public education, I think. But appreciated Jessica and Dan for attending, and if you guys have anything you'd like to talk about, please do.
Yeah, it's the 4th time I've been, and I think this was the best one that I've been to. And the outbreak sessions were very informative, and I went to the one that talked about the 10 things the business manager will tell you, and I found out that ours tells us 20, you know, so. But they were good, and the more I go, the more I meet people from other districts, and it was good. And Jessica and I and Superintendent Thomas were able to have dinner together on Wednesday night, and that was good. It was a great trip, and I would really encourage our other board members to try and pencil out some time and try and attend, because it's a good time to go, and I actually learned some things, so.
Yeah, I'm glad I had the chance to go too. The magician, right, as the keynote was talking about wonder and the power of asking a question, that what if, which, you know, I think our teachers and administrators are doing in their buildings, like we've heard tonight, right? Like, what if we try this, or what if we do that? That makes a difference for our kids. The breakout session that stood out to me that I attended was the district in Cody talking about their community partnerships, where they've got 45 businesses in Cody coming into the schools and doing different hands-on learning activities in elementary, middle school, and high school, and I was just blown away by what they've been able to do. Like the elementary school kids tagged a deer, worked with the Forest Service Department and tracked that deer for a year, where it went. You know, they've had science, things that tie into the science curriculum, math curriculum, ELA curriculums, and you know, all the way up through middle school, high school, and really give their kids some neat hands-on experience, and then build that community collaboration between the community and the district. That was fantastic to learn about.
Yep.
You had no snow closures, huh?
No, we did not get stuck
No.
anywhere on.
There was not even a flurry in sight.
I know.
I'm talking about.
No back road driving.
Yeah. I've learned my lesson.
Goes back a long time.
So any other discussion on the conference? Okay, we'll need to move on to B. We need an official newspaper.
Members of the board, we do use the Herald, of course. You will approve that as our official newspaper in January.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say what you told me.
Are they here tonight?
No, they never.
No.
They used to be.
I think they watch online.
They watch online,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to.
We used to have Sheila McGuire show
Yeah,
up.
she goes here all the time, but I think.
She's over at Bosse's now.
All right, we'll go on to C, depositories for the district funds, January approval.
We've identified those depositories. Probably the big thing, you'll sign a thing tonight, basically saying you're not a
Board member.
member that benefits from those depositories. They will be approved again in January. I don't think anything has changed with the depositories that we use. We try to, I guess, share the wealth with our community, so.
And when he says benefit, that does not mean that you can't have a...
Checking account or a savings account.
Right.
It means, are you a member of the board of directors or something like that?
Shareholder. All right, we need to approve the board meeting schedule for the 25-26 approval.
Yeah, you're not approving it, this
No,
is just a
in
draft.
January.
Yeah, this is set for the second Tuesday of the month. We do have some work sessions penciled in, but we haven't had to use work sessions, but they're in that calendar. Third Wednesday in July is our budget session. Other than that, there really is no changes. That's up to the board. If there are issues, we've gone to the first before. Second has kind of been traditional, but it's really up to the board. If that doesn't work, you guys need to decide and let us know, and we'll adjust it for next month's approval. Second Tuesday works?
Yeah.
What's nice about the second Tuesday is we do get all of the financials.
Right, that was the problem.
Gives a little more time to get the financials done.
Yep, that's fine.
All righty, that is the last of our discussion items. We are moving on now to public comments. Is there anybody that wants to come on down? Please state your name and where you live.
We all know her.
So Tina Johnson in Evanston. So I just wanted to say good evening to the trustees, the staff, and the public that attended.
Your address, sorry.
Oh, 425 Hickey Avenue,
Thank you.
Evanston.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry. I want to congratulate the board members. I'm very excited for the new board. I think everybody is doing a great job. I wanted to let you know that we are starting a Uintah County Moms for Liberty chapter. One of the issues that has been brought up many times by board members is the parent involvement, and we are hoping to increase the parents that come to the meetings and get the public more involved. We want to help bridge the gap. We also want to help protect our children and make the parents aware of what's really going on, some of the issues, good and bad. One of the things that Moms for Liberty nationally has done is there is a lawsuit the national level in federal court halting the Department of Education's Title IX rule, prohibiting the new rule from applying in certain states and every single school attended by the children of Moms for Liberty members. Another goal of ours is to hand out the United States Constitutions and the Wyoming Constitutions to every 8th and 12th grade student on Constitution Day, with permission from the board, of course. This last year, Sweetwater County donated constitutions, and we handed them out to 2 of the 3 schools. We did not know in time to ask for the board permission, but 2 of the principals did allow us to do that, and we would like to do that every year.
What date is that?
September 17th and November, I can't remember the exact date. One of the misconceptions, Moms for Liberty has gotten a bad rap on some things. They talk about the book banning, and it's not that they are about book banning. They believe that books are age appropriate, and so they do kind of focus on books that they feel are inappropriate, but they also believe that there are a lot more books that are beneficial to our schools. And we support the opt-in policy that allows parents to have more control over what the child is exposed to during the registration process. So, just wanted to let you guys know, and I hope to work with each and every one of you. So, thank you.
Question, can I
Oh,
ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Are you
It's up
part
to
of-
Tina, actually.
Yeah, are you part of the Sweetwater County chapter?
Yes,
Okay, do you expect to have a chapter in this?
yes, we are starting UNA County. So tonight, my chore was to speak in front of the board, so I had to pick something to talk about, so. But yes, I am a part of that as well, and they will help get us started.
Good.
So, all right. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
So any other public comments at all? Mr. Williams?
He's for the next one.
Oh, I thought he had public comments.
He can make a comment if you like.
You can do that too.
All right, we'll move on to our action items. Approved bus financing.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I can answer Mr. DuBois's question on workforce services. Workforce services is, the $19,000 check is for workers' comp. So we have, just to give you a quick background on workers' comp, workers' comp is an insurance that is paid by the district for high-risk or
Extra hazardous.
extra hazardous positions. Not everyone in the district gets that, but for instance, if you work in maintenance, if you're in special ed, that $19,000 goes for that in case that there's some, issue that arises from that. For those that don't have it, we use the health insurance benefit. So, question?
No, yeah, because business I'm in, we participate in the workman's comp.
Oh, you have
State of Wyoming as well.
So,
It's just not $19,000.
yeah, we're largely self-insured.
Right,
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
All right. You received two memos from me, one dated December 4th and then another dated today for bus financing. I'd like to use the December 10th. We received about four bids from different places, only one from the city of Evanston, although every bank was given the opportunity to bid it out. They always are. They're the first people I go to. First American came in with the lowest annual payment, although American Capital had the lowest interest rate. But there was a little sleight of hand that I didn't catch until today, and that was that the American Capital had a monthly interest rate, whereas everybody else was bidding a yearly interest rate. And so the difference in that is $18.82, and First American had the lowest payment. And so we want to reward whoever has the lowest payment, not just, hey, we gave you the interest rate, but there's kind of compounding effects in that. So, any questions on the financing?
So your recommendation
Is to go with First American.
First American, yeah.
I just have a question. Do we have any leases currently on any payments for any buses right now?
Yeah.
And when do those end?
Well, they're staggered.
I mean, the most
Yeah.
closest one, I guess.
So the way it works in Wyoming is that the state will pay for most everything in a bus lease. They pay
After 5 years?
For 5 years, you pay 20%, well, you pay the whole thing, and then every year you pay that off 20% and the state reimburses you the following year. So we've got some staggered buses. It's typical that I usually come and bring a couple buses every year. The challenge that we've had is that the manufacturing is spotty. This bus, I think, went out to bid 18 months ago.
Almost 2 years ago.
And we got one, and we think the other one's coming in December. But the financing needs to be arranged, so.
Our goal really is 2 a year.
Yeah.
At full reimbursement, to keep that, because as one drops off, we just add another one on, we keep that payment. It's worked well. We haven't really had to dip into anything more to keep our fleet as young as it needs to be. But even that's probably why every year, the first department that will come to the board and make their budget presentation is transportation, and they will ask for 2 buses again, probably. So.
Good. You want, we'll go through this one then. You'll stand up here for the next action item?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the bus financing through First American.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Moving on to B, approve liability insurance renewal.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, every year, starting January 1st, we need to have a property insurance in place. Property insurance is bid out. We have an insurance broker that kind of scours the market, and which is Tegler. Tegler has found right insurance. We've had a few companies that have gotten out of the property insurance. In fact, that's happening with homeowners. I mean, I think right now the average homeowner insurance is around $1,500 in the Intermountain area, and it has also increased as well. We have added this year 2 domes, and those domes need to be fully insured. In talking with the insurance companies, they say that when there is an incident with these recreation domes, often they are totaled. In other words, you know, the tent goes down and you've got, it's not, so they've said, hey, you need to insure it. Add $1 million for that. We've also added some energy controls at 2 of the schools this last year, and that's also been a change in that. The thing that I pushed on them, and I kept on working to get a second, and we found a second carrier late in the game. And so next year I'm going, okay, I want this bid out earlier and things, and that second one was Liberty Insurance. I wasn't aware that Liberty is doing school insurance. But as my memo and the second one from Tegler shows, that the renewal is coming in at $361,000. Last year it was $322,000. Knowing that the insurance is kind of happening, you know, we've got some inflationary factors there. I did increase the property insurance budget, so I think we'll be all right. In talking with our neighbors to the north, because, you know, we compare ourselves with everything with Star Valley, they're paying a lot more. They're at $490,000. You might say, well, okay, but, you know, what are you buying and things? But I feel like our insurance is adequate. We've got an umbrella. We have cybersecurity. We have concealed carry. Concealed carry is running through Lloyd's of London. It's a separate kind of piece, but it's in that number on that. So we need to have something in place. So I recommend that we go through Tegler and Wright as presented. Are there any questions?
Did the increase, the 12% increase, was it mostly related to the concealed carry?
No.
No?
No.
So
No,
did that Lloyd's of London pretty much stay the same?
Yeah, I think it was like $1,000 more. But what we're talking about, if you think about it, what we've got happening kind of in, especially in the coastal areas and in some parts where you've got large claims, you've got inflationary pressures for building costs, and then you've got an exit of the reinsurers and the insurance companies. They're saying, hey, we're not making the amount of money that we'd like to, so your supply amount is decreased, and yet we've got to have it. So that's it's one of those things where you just go, okay, I've got to have something in place. So, okay. Any other questions?
Nope. All righty, I need a motion to approve the liability insurance renewal through Tiegler and Associates.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second that motion.
I have a second. Any discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, we'll now move on to the board roundtable. Any comments from the board?
I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the work the administrative team has done, top down. Including you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
As a new board member, I just want to say I'm excited to be and grateful to be sitting up here on the stand with you guys, and looking forward to getting to know each of you better and working together. I had a lot of conversations this fall with teachers and parents and even students, and I always ask, what's one thing you think the district is doing well and one thing you think that can be improved? And we have a lot going for us as a district, and we have a lot of great ideas out there too of how we can do even better to serve all of our kids. And yeah, I'm excited to be a part of those discussions and those ideas, and to be a part of the board together. So thank you for welcoming me up here, and thank you to everyone here and everyone watching on the live stream as well.
You didn't say the improved.
Huh?
What improved did they want?
Oh, I mean, there's lots of ideas.
Nothing came out.
I mean, there are, but
She'll save them for a later date.
We'll work on those in time, yeah.
Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Nothing else?
Chairman Peterson, I do have a couple things. Just to remind everyone about the legislative forum on February 2nd and 3rd. Typically what we've done is we leave on a Sunday, which is the 2nd. We come back on the 3rd, which is a quick turnaround. This year, they're actually offering that we could go on the Saturday, which would be the 1st, so we wouldn't have to travel 5 hours before the legislative forum on Sunday. Monday is typically, we meet with our legislators and others, but the big thing is you get a kind of a tour of the Capitol building. 2.5 hours are spent by Wyoming school boards going over current legislation and where it stands. Then there's a evening where you can meet with legislators and discuss kind of where you are. So we typically send 1 or 2 board members. Let us know if you're interested in attending. Let us know if you're interested in going up Saturday instead of going up Sunday and turn around coming back Monday. And we'll kind of work that out. I think, Dan, you went last year?
I've been twice, yeah. And I'll go again.
So again, February 2nd and 3rd.
3rd, yeah.
Do you prefer to go Saturday or Sunday?
It doesn't really make any difference. Whatever everybody wants to do, you just have to leave early on Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially if the weather is a little inclement, so there's time to get there.
And it's always bad.
Yeah.
Typically what we do is we meet with our local legislators Sunday night. We take them to dinner and we kind of share our concerns with them after the meet and greet with the regular legislators. So it is a positive opportunity to meet with our local legislators.
Yeah. Brian Farmer does an excellent job with the Wyoming School Board Association.
Been there a long time.
Yeah, does a great job.
The other thing I have is, please remember, everyone needs to stick around and sign the conflict of interest form.
Okay.
That's all I had, Chairman, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries, we are done.
Good job, Mr. Miller.
It's all right.
Good job, Mr. Miller.
Parker.